Hey, it's Dan. Welcome back. You're watching iAllegedly, and I've got a good one for you today. There's all these people that recommended all these different parks in Newport Beach, and a lot of community parks that overlook the water. Kind of cool. There's a few of them, so we're going to hit a few of them for you today. And I have something that's absolutely crazy to cover for you guys today, and that is that mortgage companies are actually running out of money and canceling applications with potential borrowers. Unbelievable. So before I get into it, please take a second. Please hit the like button. Please subscribe to the channel, and let's get into it right away. In Spain, this happened this week where mortgage lenders went to real estate brokers and to mortgage companies and canceled online applications. Canceled applications with realtors, said we just don't have any money. So this has absolutely killed the real estate market in Spain. Now think about this. In Spain, real estate has shot up to the highest level this first half of this year, the first half of the year. So now it's in an absolute crash position, and the economy is crashing, and there is absolutely no money for these people right now. So here's the thing. This is not something that I heard about from one person, two persons. This is a slew of people that are starting to tell me this. But here's what here's what we're starting to see right now is that there's a problem globally with real estate and with lending and with mortgages from around the world. You know, think about this. In the last week, 1 week, mortgage applications here in the United States dropped 14% in a week. That is unbelievable, you guys. Unfreaking believable that we dropped 14% in a week. Now, you can sit there and say, oh, it's just seasonal. What was it, raining? You know what I mean? It doesn't make any sense that this is happening right now. What's happening, though, is that the banks are tightening up right now. People in Spain, let's just do this because the research on this got to a bunch of questions asked where, how's the economy in Spain? How are people doing in Spain? Not well. 30% of the people in Spain have had to resort to payday loans just to pay their bills. This is, this little park up here that I'm at, guys. I want to just walk up here really quick. This is really cool because this has got a cool view. It takes you straight. That's Billy's at the beach right there, and that's the bay on the other side of that. But just a beautiful spot up here. But 30% of the people have hit payday loans, and the average person gets 600 euros. It's crazy, guys. And they're paying. Here's the thing that floored me that I had to read it twice. And the story's below, so I'm not making this up. 3,500% on these payday loans. People are so desperate for money to make ends meet at the end of a month that there is a flurry of people doing this. 30% of the people in Spain are doing this right now. Now, people have overpaid for real estate there, and you're seeing nothing but problems with this. It only gets worse, guys, as this goes on. And it doesn't just get better overnight. So share your thoughts on all this stuff, guys. I really want to know what you think about this. I think it's crazy that people are resorting to desperate measures. And with this, it brought up two other things. And that was, what happens if your bank fails and you're making mortgage payments? And people write me and say, oh, it's your lucky day. No, it's not. It's not. Think about this. If your bank fails and it goes bankrupt, you have to continue to make your payments. And you better make your payments. It's on you to make sure your payments are made. Now, people are going to flip out and say, that's not right, Dan. If these people go out of business, we don't have an obligation to pay them. You're kidding yourself. There's a deed. There is a responsibility to pay this. And I know someone that in the last real estate downturn, he got behind with his lender and didn't make his payment for a while. And then the lender went out of business. Okay, so wow, it's my lucky day. Well, it wasn't his lucky day because the guy got to live there for basically 14 months without making a house payment. And at the end of this, you're thinking, okay, well, finally, hi, we're XYZ lender. Hey, as the bank comes back in, and you think that, okay, well, we got nothing to worry about. We're just going to start making our payment now. No, 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 no. They sued this guy and gave him a few options, but this was at a time when there were thousands of people that were behind on not paying. And with that, this guy did get lucky because he did go out and they made a deal to have him leave the house. But man, it's not always like this, guys. Not at all. So, take a look at the stories below because it's crazy. You don't just get a free pass and you don't have to make your house payment and everything's great. Doesn't work that way. Let's talk about our sponsor, Patriot Gold Group. It is true carnage in the stock market, and it's unlike anything that we've ever seen in our lifetimes. Things are bad right now, and you need a hedge to compete against that. And the best thing is precious metals, 401k or IRA that's backed by precious metals from Patriot Gold Group. You can call them today at 888-330-1431 and get your free investor guide. Now, think about this. All the experts out there, you've got Goldman Sachs, you've got Deutsche Bank talking about how the stock market's going to drop another 25%. Now Moody's steps forward when it comes to real estate and said that real estate prices could drop as much as 30%. You need a hedge. During all this debacle, gold has only gone down 8%, and you need to get yourself an investor guide right away to take a look at getting a 401k or IRA that's backed by physical metals from Patriot Gold Group. John Paulson, the billionaire, he steps forward and says, listen, gold's going to spike. Said this last week, gold's going to spike as soon as people realize that the Fed cannot get inflation down to 2%. Well, guys, that's not going to happen, okay? We're not bringing inflation back down anytime soon. So you've got to protect yourself, protect your family, and deal with the best company, which is Patriot Gold Group. They're the best in class. They're best in consumer affairs for 6 years in a row, highly rated. Call them today, 888-330-1431. Get your free investor guide today and let them know that I allegedly sent you guys, and find out more about it. I am up the street at John Wayne Park that overlooks the bay, and it is just stunning. I mean, it's really, this was a home run that somebody recommended, and it's absolutely beautiful. I love when people recommend things to me like Realtor.com. Realtor.com is getting honest finally, where they're starting to say, hey, listen, people are going to experience housing to crash regardless if there's a recession or not. If you guys don't think that we're in recessionary times right now, you guys are kidding yourselves right now. We are absolutely upside down. And the economy is not only recessionary, but it's heading towards a depression. It's heading towards something that we have never seen in most of our lifetimes. I don't know if there's anybody that you know of that was alive during the Depression. If they are, wow, okay, I can't imagine that they are. So with that being said, as I sit here in Newport Beach, you got some of the greatest retail down here that overlooks the bay, and the convenience stores are closed. The McLaren dealership moved. They can't rent the McLaren dealership, maybe because they're asking $50,000 a month for that. Who knows? But there's a ton of restaurants. Another restaurant just went out of business this week, okay? So horrible times, guys, that we're living through. We're living through something you haven't seen in our lifetimes. Think about this, office space in that hellhole, San Francisco. Now, again, I'm a guy that would go to San Francisco every year for the JP Morgan conference in January. And I have to tell you that I am so grateful and so glad that I'm not going to that horrible city right now because of the crime and because of how dirty it is. It's gone completely upside down. But think about this, and the story is below on this. 25% of all the office space in San Francisco is vacant right now. In that beautiful city, okay? Well, clearly one of the largest financial metropolises in the world, right? Well, it used to be. Things are not the same. Things will never be the same for years, for decades maybe. But People are holding on hope that, our elected officials are going to do something. The Fed's going to do something. The Fed's not going to do anything. And again, another great article below about how the Fed can't do anything that's going to fix this anytime soon. And if you guys realize that and understand that, you're going to be in a much better spot. You have to be your own central bank. You have to take care of your own finances. You have to get yourself out of debt right now. Now, okay, debt is a tool. It's just that simple. When you borrow money to move your business forward, it's the greatest thing in the world. When you borrow money to leverage real estate or equipment or anything like that, it is absolutely brilliant. But you are seeing things go upside down. And when you see these lenders that go upside down, that don't have money, they don't have their line of credit. Now, when I was a kid in my 20s, we had a family friend that was in the mortgage business, and they had a $50 million line of credit where they could write mortgages. And it was like, wow, they could write mortgages. And think about this. In the 80s, okay, what were mortgages back then? Okay, it was nothing. Okay, I mean, they were 100 grand, 200,000. Wow, they bought a house for 300 grand. So they didn't use all the money in their line of credit, but we're starting to see that get eviscerated right now. With what's happening in Spain, it's going to happen more and more and more. Now, one thing that I have learned, and quite a bit, is it's growing in popularity again, are the private lenders. Now, to give you an idea, this is something that's a financial institution, and they're absolutely out lending the money themselves for you to buy a business or, redo your office or buy a house even. A friend of mine, I think this is about 4 years ago, was looking at conventional lenders, and she wouldn't qualify. So she went to the private lenders and started asking me, what do you think about this rate? What do you think about this? And I was like, wait a second, you owe nothing on this house, and, very little is what they owed in the house. And let's do this. Let's start with the first one and go from there and play everybody against each other. Literally, she had the money in 5 days. 5 days, guys, is all it took the private lender. Now, in the commercial sector, this is what's happening right now in the commercial sector, is that people don't want to deal with the bank, the stodginess of the bank and all the problems with the bank. They just don't want to deal with that. So they're going to these private lenders, and like street lending, this story that I have below from you, these guys, it's not spelled like the regular street, it's spelled a different way, but these guys are lending money at 7.99% on up. Okay, now the thing about this is that it's quick, and if somebody sits there and says, hey, we can get loan in a week, over 3 months, think about that. The project could be completed by then if you've got good construction crews and the material and things like that. And that is just a brilliant sunset. Look at that. That is stunning. Wow. So again, guys, you have to look at everything. What works for you may not work for others. Okay? What you need, may not be able to be, may not happen. But I always tell people to educate themselves and look at what's happening around us, because this is falling apart right now. And if you think it's going to get better, when you hear about places like, think about this, Boise, Idaho, Moody says that they are 77% overpriced right now. How insane is that? What does that mean? What does Vegas mean at 60%? So what's a world look like when things are that overpriced right now when it comes to real estate? So share your thoughts on all this stuff, guys. Do you have a desire to go back to the office? Do you have a desire to go to San Francisco anytime soon? To that hellhole? Think about this, guys. It is nuts to think about right now, that 25% of the office space. Who owns the mortgages there in San Francisco? Who's paying those mortgages right now? You guys ever ask questions like that? Because I do, and I'm floored when I think about this stuff. So share your thoughts on all this stuff. Isn't this cool? Is there any place that you really want to travel to right now? You got to get there. Now, the theme of this video, most of it's been that everybody's broke right now. Hong Kong has just announced that they're giving away 500,000 free airline tickets to travel to Hong Kong. Crazy. If you guys want to go to Hong Kong, I'm telling you, they're giving $255 million worth of airline tickets away for people to travel to Hong Kong. You know, they lost out on millions of people traveling to Hong Kong after the health crisis hit, and they want to bring them back. So what are they going to do? They're going to put their money where their mouth is and give out free airline tickets. Does that interest you guys? Does that make you sit there and want to go, gosh, I want to go to Hong Kong right now? Man, I don't know. No, for me, okay? But it's up to you guys. Take a look at the story below and see if that interests you guys, because I think it's crazy. But you're going to start to see stunts like this where people are going to start to give things away for free to get people there. Airbnbs are also in huge trouble right now. We're starting to see that people are sick of going to an Airbnb and then getting taken advantage of by cleaning deposits and all these extra fees that you don't have when you go to a hotel. Yes, you can get ripped off for a resort fee, okay? And, you know, I've traveled to places, spent the night there, literally used the bed, gotten up, and they charged me for the resort fee. And, you know, I get angrier and angrier and angrier with this. But, you know, there's times you can get rid of it. Right now, they want people there, so they kind of bend on stuff like that. I've gotten free hotel rooms given to me lately where people are saying, hey, just come stay with us, Dan. We'll give you 3 nights free. That's happening. Are you guys experiencing anything like this? Would you go to Hong Kong with a free ticket? Take a look at the story below. I think that you're going to start to see crazy things like this, but think about how expensive it would be. You got to feed yourself. You got to, you know, you got to buy stuff. You got to do everything once you get there. So share your thoughts on all this stuff. Now, this park is absolutely amazing. This is Cliff Drive Park. Last time I was here was during the boat parade, because you get the perfect view from here and you can see all the lights, and it was just stunning out here. And man, I should come up here more often and film from here. Okay, so thank you for the suggestion to come up here. But the next big problem with everybody globally is going to be energy prices. Now, we've all experienced gas, and we've all experienced, you know, high oil prices that are affecting gas. The next thing is natural gas. Think about this. In Germany alone, they're talking about how people need to cut back, okay, without getting shut off, 20% right now. How do you do that? How do you, it's freezing and I need to turn, you know, the heat up? No, conserve, okay? People are faced with energy bills that they've never had before, and it's only going to get worse right now. This is insane, guys, that we're living through this. Now, here in the States, this is going to happen too, because we're seeing the energy prices for electricity spike here as well. We've been warned here in Southern California that it could go up as much as 50% during this time. This is crazy, guys, that we're going to see prices like this. So what's the average family going to do? I don't know. What do they come up with hundreds of dollars more a month to heat and, you know, to heat and turn the lights on in their home? You know, the idea of going to all electricity, which is what they want to do here in California, is outrageous. Anytime that I've had a spot heater, even 1500 watts, these things are so damn expensive and have raised my electric bill in any place, whether it's residential, commercial, whatever. That's what we're seeing. So this is only getting worse and worse and worse right now, guys. And again, all the stories are below. It doesn't matter where you live around the globe. The energy problem is only going to get worse right now, and people have no money for this. You're going to see real estate that's going to completely crash right now, and you're going to see that the Fed is only going to do one thing for us, and they're going to raise interest rates during this time. Now, when you hear these experts talk about the economy and what should be done, and maybe we should hold off on raising interest rates, what's that going to do, guys? Do you think that we're going to all of a sudden see inflation stop? Well, then do that in the first place. Do whatever it's going to take to make it so that things are more affordable, so that things are more abundant right now. Because here's the problem that you see is that when you have a city like this, that you have businesses that are going out of business and people cannot afford to go out and eat at restaurants. People then complain when they eat at restaurants because the portions are horrible and you're getting charged 40% more than you did at the first of the year. When do people draw the line and say, I'm not going to do this anymore? And again, more and more people are writing me about eating at home over eating out right now. That's the thing. And when you look at the Shilling Company, McCormick, excuse me, Shilling's the other spice company, but McCormick made all this money this year, and the earnings are up by tens of millions of dollars. When do you sit there and draw a line in that and understand that people cannot afford to eat out? Now, there's going to be a level of super rich and broke people. The yacht industry, think about this. Now, the mega yacht industry, there's been over 1,000 mega yachts that are over 30 feet long that have been produced, and there's a back order. But now here's the thing. It's not all the Russian people, because they're kind of written off and there's problems with them and things are getting seized and things like that. It's Americans right now that are buying all this stuff. So we're going to live in a world, guys, of extreme haves and extreme have-nots. Look at that boat that's just, as I'm talking about this, that's just sailing by, okay? That's not some $300,000 boat. That is an elaborate, very expensive boat right there, to say the least. People need to get ready. People need to save. People need to have security, have food, stocked. Every time I talk to anybody that has anything to do with the food industry, all they tell me about is food shortages. Every farmer, everybody that writes me, Patera from Appalachia Homestead, if you've ever seen her channel, watch it, because it's informative, but it's going to freak you out, because she's brilliant. She runs a working farm, and you know what they're doing right now? They're not sitting on their laurels. They are packing and getting ready day after day after day. So, share your thoughts on this stuff. A little bit more to cover on this, but I just wanted to come up to these parks because, man, it's simple, beautiful, really nice. I love stories like this because we've talked about this before, and that is, with your money, with knowledge, there is value in speaking to somebody who's lived through it and done something before. Right now, think about this. There's a great article from Business Insider talking about the average young banker in their 20s, how they are deer in the headlights right now when it comes to the financial debacle that we are living through right now, and that they have your money on. 80% of the world's money right now is managed by people under 27 years old. That is insane. Not my money. That's your money, guys. That's insanity right now. So if you do not talk to somebody that has more experience, you are a fool. It's just that simple. You can sit there and talk about, like, your sponsor, Patriot Gold. You know what? Again, an alternative that you should look at, say the least. Now, here's the thing. The next thing is Black Friday. They're talking about how this inflationary term that we're going through is only going to get worse, and it's going to destroy Black Friday this year. It's going to make it so that there will not be deals that people go, well, that's noticeable, let's go get that, because things are going through the roof right now. And again, I've said this to you guys for the last 6 weeks. If there is something you want to buy, if there is a gift for your kid, grandkid, something that you want, your husband, your spouse, your friend, anybody, coworker, get it now. Look at it now. Go get it now, because the prices are only going to go up. And if you read the article below, there's not going to be Black Friday discounts like you think there are. So it's going to wreak havoc on everything that we do when it comes to Black Friday getting destroyed. Now, next thing, Chick-fil-A. When you hear about Chick-fil-A, everybody talks about how great they are. They have the worst drive-through service out of all the other fast food places. And I got a kick out of this because what's the best fast food? Who's got the best service? Who's got this? Well, the worst service is Chick-fil-A, which I kind of got a kick out of, because they're always so nice. And when you go through Chick-fil-A, I hated taking my kid there because he would buy 3 things and it would cost me $30 for that kid to eat. But they were always so kind to us as I was getting completely clipped and taken advantage of. So, share your thoughts on this stuff, guys. Let me know what you think about this stuff. The final thing is, think about this. With everybody broke right now, Spirit Halloween, that's those pop-up stores. Here in Southern California, they're everywhere. These are pop-up Halloween stores where they sell, the costumes, the freakish things that, pop up and, scare in front of your yard, that blow up, things like that. There are 1,450 of those Spirit Halloweens that are going to pop up this year. And the one thing I've always wondered is, do these things ever make any money? Well, they make a ton of money, because think about this. $10.6 billion is going to be spent on Halloween this year. People are broke. People will go into debt to go to a Halloween party, okay? They won't pay their bills, but they will go out and they will, go to Spirit Halloween. Wow, man, that is nuts, guys. So share your thoughts on this. I love Halloween. I love, going to different things like that. There will be a ton of stuff in all these different areas down here by the beach that we can go be part of this year, but I won't be going to Spirit Halloween to buy a costume, to say the least. So please do not forget to hit the like button. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Take a look at our sponsor, Patriot Gold Group. The link is below. Let them know that I allegedly sent you. Onward and upward, guys. I will see you guys very soon.